You know, whenever you see a picture of a solar car, it looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? They're these flat, wide, almost alien-looking things. But that bizarre design, it's not just for show. Nope. It is the result of this incredible engineering race to build the most efficient vehicle on the planet. And it all boils down to one single-minded purpose. So what is the deal with that shape? It's a great question, and it gets right to the heart of what these cars are all about. They are not designed for comfort, or for style, at least not in the way we think of it. They are designed with a single, almost obsessive goal in mind. And that goal? It's to win a relentless war against one invisible, all-powerful enemy, aerodynamic drag. Every single curve you see, every smooth surface, is basically a weapon in the fight against air resistance. Okay, now check out this graph, because this really tells the whole story. For a normal car, sure, you've got rolling resistance and other things. But for a super lightweight solar car, just look at what happens as the speed picks up. That blue chunk, aerodynamic drag, it just takes over. It becomes pretty much the only thing that matters. It is the monster they have to defeat. And to really put this in perspective, think about this. These cars run on an incredibly tiny amount of power. We're talking about the same amount of juice it takes to boil a kettle for a cup of tea. That's it. When you've got so little power to work with, you have to eliminate every single possible source of energy waste. And that starts and ends with cheating the wind. So, how do they actually do it? Well, the engineers focus on these 4 key principles. First, you want to make the car's skin, its surface area, as small as you can. Second, you shape it like a teardrop so the air flows smoothly over it, no turbulence. Third, you make the front of it as tiny as possible. And finally, you perfect that overall shape to get a crazy low drag coefficient. We're talking around 0.1, when a typical road car is more like 0.32. And here's a really clever bit of engineering. You see, an airplane wing shape, that symmetric one on top, is great high up in the air. But on the ground, air gets squeezed between the car and the road. It creates this high-pressure zone called the ground effect, and that actually increases drag. The solution? This thing called a cambered airfoil with a flat bottom. It manages that airflow way more efficiently when you're close to the ground. And this is what you get when you put it all together. You can see it here. The main body is that cambered airfoil shape. You've got a little teardrop canopy for the driver, and even special covers or fairings for the wheels. Every single piece is designed and tested to just slice through the air. But, all this theory needs a place to be tested, right? And that ultimate proving ground is a brutal, sun-drenched race across an entire continent. Welcome to the Bridgestone World Solar Challenge. The goal sounds simple, but it's insane. Drive 3,022 kilometers from Darwin in the north of Australia straight down to Adelaide in the south using pretty much only the power of the sun. It is one of the toughest engineering challenges anywhere on Earth. A day in the race is just this grueling test of endurance. Teams are on the road from 8 in the morning till 5 at night, just trying to soak up every possible ray of sun. And then they literally make camp on the side of the road, right in the middle of the outback. They sleep in the desert, get up, and do it all over again. It's as much about strategy and survival as it is about pure speed. And it's not just one big free-for-all. You've got the Challenger class, that's for those alien-looking speed machines we've been talking about. Then there's the Cruiser class, which is really interesting. They're judged on practicality. They have to carry passengers and actually look a bit more like a real car. And the Explorer class is where you see all the wild new ideas being tested out. Now, this race isn't just a local thing. Oh no, it is a massive international undertaking that attracts some of the brightest young minds from all over the planet. Seriously, this isn't just a handful of teams. You've got universities and even high schools from countries all over the globe pouring years of work into this one event. It's basically the Olympics of engineering, where the next generation is competing to solve the future of sustainable transport. And this quote from the event ambassador, Chris Selwood, really hits it home. He says that just designing and building one of these cars to travel that distance is an incredible achievement. And it's all fueled by this shared dream for a better, more sustainable world. So this is all fascinating stuff, right? But what does it actually mean for the rest of us? Do these extreme race cars have any connection to the car you and I might be driving in the future? Well, let's compare them. The race cars are these single-minded machines, one driver, zero comforts, extreme designs. But the consumer solar electric vehicles that are starting to pop up are way more practical. They've got multiple seats, real safety features, and, this is key, you can plug them into the grid when the sun isn't shining.
And this is why those teams camp in the desert. The promise here is huge. We're talking about cars with zero emissions, way less reliance on fossil fuels, incredibly low running costs, and maybe, just maybe, the potential for true energy independence.
But, okay, let's be realistic for a second. There are some major hurdles to get over. The upfront cost is high, performance depends completely on the weather, and you need a pretty big surface area for all those solar panels to generate any meaningful power. These are the big challenges engineers are trying to solve right now.
But the really exciting thing is, this isn't just a dream anymore. You've got companies like Aptara, with its super aerodynamic three-wheeler, and Lightyear, and they're actively developing cars for you and me. They are taking the lessons learned in the harsh Australian outback about aerodynamics, efficiency, solar tech, and putting them into vehicles that could one day be in our driveways.
So the next time you see one of these strange, futuristic solar racers, remember what you're really looking at. It's more than just a car. It's a rolling laboratory, and it's pushing the absolute limits of what's possible. And that raises a pretty fascinating question, doesn't it? Are we actually looking at a glimpse of our future daily commute? Only time will tell.